skies. Lots of summer fun there this morning. But now we are 30 minutes until the opening bell on Wall Street, where things might get a little more anxious out there. The market's kicking off the first full week of trading since the UK's BREXIT vote on Friday. The first U.S. trading since the Dow tumbled more than 600 points on Friday afternoon. Investors now wondering, was that a one-time jolt, or are we going to be in this kind of situation for some time to come? Good morning, everybody. I'm Martha McCallum here in America's Newsroom.
Good morning, Martha. Man,
morning,
oh
Eric.
man, oh man. Hello, everyone. I'm Eric Sean in for Bill Hemmer this morning. Global markets, well, they are mixed overnight. The Dow's future, take a look at that. Well, another down day coming on our way on Wall Street. But you know, many in Britain now wondering if they did get BREXIT all wrong. Millions signing a petition calling for a redo.
People need to reconsider, and I think it'd be great to have another vote. I think everyone's kind of regretting it.
I think it's ludicrous to have another referendum, you know. You can't just keep going, can you? It's a small majority, but they decided, and that was it. Now we have to move on.
So we have to move on. Let's go to Fox Team coverage. Amy Kellogg live in London. But we begin with Melissa Francis, who is co-host of After the Bell, of course, on the Fox Business Network. Melissa, good morning to you. Futures looking lower this morning.
Yeah.
How much more of a tumble are we likely to take here?
It's likely to be a very tumultuous day, but that guy that just spoke said it perfectly. Everyone over the weekend sort of sat back and said, okay, it is now time to assess and move on. We have to figure out what we're dealing with here. For companies, it means a host of different things depending on where you are and where you do business. So everybody trying to figure out sort of what it means. Meanwhile, for the stock market, Asia recovered a bit overnight. That's good. Europe is still in chaos, but the U.S. is the safe haven. In the long run, this has to mean good things for the U.S. stock market because it is the place that you can bank on. I mean, certainly we saw a big flow into treasuries. That's that move to safety. But in the short term, it's definitely going to be very tumultuous here in the U.S. as people try to assess. I'm doing business in Europe. My goodness, totally new trade rules for anyone trying to do business in the U.K. There's a lot to hammer out, Martha, and just a ton of uncertainty. No one I spoke to over the weekend knew precisely what it was going to mean for them, and there's no quick way to figure it out. That's what you're seeing.
Yeah, I mean, everybody, I think, needs to sort of take a deep breath here.
Yeah.
There's opportunities for business. There's opportunities for trade that are opening up as a result of this, no doubt. And as you pointed out, obviously there's a flight to quality, which is the U.S. dollar, but that means that interest rates are going to stay low, and that's not so great for the banks, right?
No, definitely. I mean, financials, they definitely have their work cut out for them. I mean, it's sort of hitting them from every different way. Janet Yellen was supposed to meet with other European leaders this week, central bankers. She canceled that meeting because she knows that when she comes out, she's going to be expected to make a statement about where we're headed and what it means and what she's going to do, and she's not prepared to do it. And that sort of says it all. I mean, everyone's in that boat. They don't know precisely what this is going to mean, but you know, there's always an opportunity in that. There's always the arbitrage, and you sit back and you figure it out and you move forward. And that's what companies are going to do. But I think that the financials definitely are the ones that more than anyone else have their work cut out for them. You know, I talked to people over the weekend who advise on deals. They said every deal they had on the table has either been canceled or has been put on hold. I mean, there is no clear answer no matter how smart you are, but you got to go forward. So that's what they're going to do.
Yep, that's their job. Figure out where the opportunities are.
So buckle up in the market for sure.
Exactly. All right, Melissa, thank you so much. We'll see you later.
Well, Martha, meanwhile, some in the British public, well, they may be suffering from a case of buyer's remorse as the reality of Brexit sinks in. And some pro-Brexit lawmakers now backtracking on some of their promises. Amy Kellogg, live in London with those details. Hi, Amy.
Hi, Eric. There's that. And then there's also this buyer's remorse in the form of people saying, well, it was a protest vote. I never really thought this would all happen. So you've got that. Then you've got this petition being put forward to Parliament. Now it has 3.7 million votes. Parliament will have to take a look at it. It's requesting a second referendum, a revote, but it's not clear whether or not it will be taken seriously. Leaders here have not indicated that they want to backtrack on the will expressed by the people. And then finally, I think another important observation here was the mood of dread experienced by some members of the population who saw the spectacle of all this political infighting over the weekend, and then also this sense that nobody was in charge and maybe there was no plan at all for taking the country forward. But we did finally hear from the Chancellor of the Exchequer, George Osborne, this morning. He said that he wanted to assure the markets and the public that contingency plans on an economic level here are in place.
I think it's very good news that the Chancellor has come out and said some reassuring things to the markets, and it's clear now that Project Fear is over. There's not going to be an emergency budget. People's pensions are safe. The pound is stable. The markets are stable.
But in fact, the pound is at a 30-year low. Project Fear, by the way, was the name the Out campaign had given to the Remain campaign's dire warnings about the potential economic fallout of a Brexit. Boris Johnson, tipped to be the next Conservative Party leader and possibly the next Prime Minister, also said in an op-ed piece today that he doesn't believe anxiety about immigration was the #1 reason for the Leave vote, but rather that people believed British democracy was being eroded by the bureaucracy in Brussels. Finally, European leaders have been meeting to discuss all of this. Eric, British Prime Minister David Cameron will meet with some of them tomorrow in Brussels, but then he will have to head out because they want to meet without him. Finally, the Leadership Committee here in London is saying now they want to see a new Prime Minister in place by September 2nd. Back to you, Eric.
Yeah, well, those Boris Johnson reassurances not yet soothing the jittery nerves. Amy Kellogg in London, thanks so much. And of course, Fox News is the place to be for the major newsmakers. That includes Nigel Farage. He's the head of the UK Independence Party, who was one of the leading figures supporting Brexit. And you can see him later on today at 4 p.m. on Your World, 4 p.m. Eastern, an exclusive interview right here on the Fox News channel.
I mean, you've got the camp that says that it's chaos and that it's going to hit the economies hard for some time. And then you have those who say that, you know, you have to kind of wait and let things settle in a little bit. Obviously, people aren't going to stop trading with the UK. I mean, it's a major trade partner and a major commercial center, and that's not going to change. So we'll see. Yeah. And we'll talk to a lot of smart folks about it as we go throughout the next couple of hours here this morning, exactly. Get you up to speed on it at home.
In the meantime,